Good afternoon, baseball. It's time for some good afternoon baseball. My name is Tiddly Clowners. I am here on KYW, New Ohio Radio, home of the New Ohio Debonairs, and we are live from the broadcast booth here at the Tri-City Fairgrounds in Toledo, New Ohio, for the second game of a three-game series between the New Ohio Debonairs and the currently tied for first place in the Continental League, Boston Ruffians. Should be a challenging outing for the Debonairs, who've started the season at 2-5, having lost last night's game to the Ruffians by a score of 4-0, due to a complete game by Boston's starting pitcher, Shining Slankowitz, who pitched all 9 innings and of shutout baseball. And, well, let's just say the Debonairs, we'd like to see them put a little bit more offense on the board, and maybe they can do it today with new pitchers in and a new day and a beautiful afternoon here in New Ohio. That being said, let us go down to our public address announcer for the starting lineup of the two teams.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tri-City Fairgrounds for today's afternoon game between the Boston Ruffians and the New Ohio Debonairs. At this time, we'd like to introduce the starting lineup and batting order of the visiting team, the Boston Ruffians. Batting first, the second baseman, number 27, Coke Can Lloyd. Batting second, the catcher, number 42, Shrewd Bland. Batting third, the left fielder, number 14, Wrigley Bispo. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 5, Pretend Esposito. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 30, Rogue Bison. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 8, Fixed Ray Mortgage. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 10, Loud Juice Kendrick. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 40, Dub Straining. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for the Boston Ruffians, number 18, Charles Tunchu. At this time, we introduce the starting lineup and batting order of the home team, the New Ohio Debonairs. Batting first, the first baseman, number 3, Dollop O'Daisy. Batting second, the third baseman, number 13, Quincy Longpants. Batting third, the second baseman, number 20, Turf Tamber. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 9, Harry Tarcake. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 24, Dimples Bugby. Batting sixth, the shortstop, number 5, Lively Cartwheeling. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 16, Joe Nelly. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 41, Murphy Bed Sleepover. And batting ninth, the starting pitcher for your New Ohio Debonairs, number 46, Bruce Dapper.
Yes, a rousing ovation for the home team, and we're very much looking forward to a lovely day of baseball, as it is a beautiful afternoon. And taking the mound for the first pitch is Bruce Dapper for the New Ohio Debonairs. First pitch is in for a strike. That's going to be 0-2, starting things off with a foul ball. One and two the count for Coke Can Lloyd, and he's going to strike out to get things started in a big way for the Debonairs. Now grabbing his crutch, Shrewd Bland. I'd say that's more shrewd than it is bland as far as I'm concerned, grabbing your groinial region. But nonetheless, what we know these Boston Ruffians to be, they are a very good baseball team. They are tied with New York for in first place after the results last night. And despite Bladley cartwheeling, unable to get to that ball, it was the out recorded, Turf Tambor coming in to help out there. And that is going to be... It's going to be a fair ball. Harry Tarcake in left field making the throw. It's a double for Wiggly Bispo. And Pretend Esposito, a very dangerous batter. Two and one the count. As Bruce Dapper being forced to make work hard in this end, but nonetheless, full count. That's going to be fouled off, and that is a big strikeout for Bruce Dapper, as it leaves one runner on base, and only one hit, but no runs for the Ruffians. Starting things off with Dollop O'Daisy. And Coke Can Lloyd able to retrieve that one, make the throw to Rogue Bison for the first out. Quincy Longpants, the third baseman, second in the lineup, facing Charles Tanchu. And Tanchu makes the throw to Bison for out number 2. Tanchu, 1-0. He's got a record of 1-0. And that's going to be played off of... Oh, unable to get to it was Coke Can Lloyd. And Turf Tambor, a very reliable batter for the Debonairs, is on base with a single. I don't know if that'd be a little rude, I think, to record that as an error. I think that's just a very difficult ball to field. We'll see how the scorekeepers do, in fact, judge that one to be. Here is Harry Tarcake. Takes a big swing short of the wall. Wiggly Bispo in left field with the catch for out number 3. No score after 1. And Bruce Dapper will take the mound for Rogue Bison. First baseman, Bruce Dapper, is 0-1. He's only, he pitched 5 1/3 inning in I believe a loss to Amalgamated Baseball Holdings back on the 8th. Got 5 strikeouts, so he is a strikeout pitcher. Just needs a bit of run support, and we'll see if that can happen. And that's going to be a very easy play for out number 2. Dollop O'Daisy at first easily made the catch by Bruce Dapper. Here's Loud Juice Kendrick. Loud Juice Kendrick, the third baseman, going to line it right out to Turf Tambor. And the Debonairs quiet the Ruffian bats and make this a scoreless game still at this very moment. That is going to go right to Pretend Esposito in position. And that's going to be a big swing up the middle. Played by Dub Straining, and it puts Blithely Cartwheeling, who has been a fielding master. The number of catches and plays at first base I saw him make, plays to first I saw him make in last night's game, astounding. Fortunately, he's called out on the Joe Nelly fielder's choice. Is Murphy bed sleep over 2 outs? That's going to be an easy catch by Fixed Ray Mortgage. And it looks like the Ruffians have come to field properly as well in this. It's scoreless after 2. Bringing up Dub Straining, the center fielder. Dub Straining. This Boston batting .269 on the season going into this game. He's going to fly that one out on the first pitch to Joe Nelly. Okay, next is the pitcher spot, Charleston Chew. Big swing on that one, strike 2, 0-2 the count. Takes ball number 1, third pitch, here's the fourth pitch. Ball 2, Bruce Dapper looking for that strikeout yet again. Gets it on the swing. And I must say, Bruce Dapper, when it comes to striking a batter out, that is I think the go-to pitcher for the Debonairs. An easy catch for for Quincy Longpants. And speaking of, it's Bruce Dapper at the plate in the bottom of the third. No score. Debonairs trying to just keep this one within grasping distance. Again, the tied for first place team, the Boston Debonairs. That should be easily playable by Pretend Esposito. Makes the throw to Bison for out number 1. Back to the top of the lineup, it's Dollop O'Daisy, who's batting .258 going into today. 1 home run, 1 RBI, 8 hits. And he's going to make contact with that, dropping short of Dub, straining into center field. It's a line drive into center field, and it's a single for O'Daisy, his Quincy Longpants. And they're going to attempt a steal. And O'Daisy is safe. He shall be shamed quietly because it did benefit us as a home team, but I see the crowd does not seem to be rallying around the causes, the cries of shame. Perhaps we're seeing slowly but surely an acceptance of this new fascination of stealing a base. I think a lot of the misunderstanding is people think they are literally taking a base and bringing it home with them, but I mean, where would you put it? I don't think I'd have it's not a very comfortable cushion. I can't think of a single place I'd put a base from a baseball park in my home. But you know, it does take different strokes to move the world. Perhaps someone will make that line into a song one day. And Esposito diving on that one, gets out number 2, moves the runners to second and third, but gets the all-important second out, bringing up Harry Tarcake. And the out can be made at first. 2 outs. The runners are going to be going on any sort of contact. And it looks like Esposito, yes, he can preserve the scoreless streak. And unfortunately, that is going to be another 0 on the board. As Shrewd Bland here in the top of the 4th. Shrewd Bland, the catcher. First pitch, going to be an easy one. O'Daisy will run it out himself. This brings us to Wiggly Bispo. Wiggly Bispo for the Boston Ruffians. That's going to be lined out right to turf timbre. I do like this getting up early, swinging early, trying to make contact right away from the Ruffians because the Debonairs fielding seems to be up for it, and that is going to be popped up to Harry Tarcake. And for Bruce Dapper, that means he can stay in this game longer with fewer pitches thrown. So, again, we enter the bottom of the 4th. Here is Dimples Bugby, the catcher, batting .296 on the season going into today's game. And that's going to go right over the shoulder of Ton Chu. And he's on with a single as the center fielder, Dub Straining, will make that play. Here's Blithely cartwheeling, 1 for 1 today with the single. Actually, not that strong of a batter today. He's going to throw right into, Fancy Dan indeed. A double play. Well, I hate to make a big deal about it as it does not benefit the Debonairs, but that is a Fancy Dan double play. Brought to you by Fancy Dan's Follicle Products. You have a huge selection of shampoos, styling salves, pomades and any sort of gelatin-like based hair treatments. That's Fancy Dan. Put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. Top of the fifth, it's still scoreless here at the Tri-City Fairgrounds. And taking a lot of pitches on this bat is Rogue Bison, the first baseman. He's going to strike out, and that's yet another strikeout for Bruce Dapper. I must say. And that's going to line out right to blithely cartwheeling. See the fielding prowess of him. That's going to go right to Dolapo Daisy, stepping on the bag and retiring the side. After 4.5, it's still scoreless here at the Tri-City Fairgrounds. Bring us Murphy Bed Sleepover. Bottom of the lineup for the Debonairs, the center fielder, Murphy Bed Sleepover, which puts Bruce Dapper on deck. I imagine he would still be staying in this game. No reason to be putting him out. His pitch count is very low. Feeling fairly confident, got a couple strikeouts to his record, and that's going to be an easy first out. Rogue Bison fields it and brings it over to step on the bag for out number 1. And on the first pitch, Dapper will pop that one straight up into the air to Charles Tunchu. Top of the lineup again to Dollop O'Daisy, who again batting .258 on the season. Going to try to run that one out. Loud Juice Kendrick fields it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Once again for the Debonairs. Well, hits are very tough to come by. Here at the Tri-City Fairgrounds, as Joe Nelly is going to field that one in right field, and that's going to be an opening single here in the top of the 6th. For Dub Straining, onto the pitcher spot, it's Charles Tunchu. And potential Fancy Dan double play. Yes, he gets the Fancy Dan double play. Well spotted and well played with 2 outs. Coke Can Lloyd up to bat. And naturally, and that's going to be a single on 2 outs to right field. Joe Nelly didn't get the read in time. Fancy Dan double play, of course, brought to you by Fancy Dan. Follicle products. Put more fop in your quaff with Fancy Dan. Is Dolapo Daisy makes the grab. Bruce Dapper with the assist at first, and that's going to retire the side. Bottom of the 6th, the Debonairs looking to get this on. Get something going later in the game. 48 pitches is the count for Charles Tunchu in 5 innings. That's going to be fouled off. 1-1 the count. Just on the wrong side of the first base line, that is. Foul for strike 2. Loud Juice Kendrick diving on top of it. Oh, and Rogue Bison unable to make the grab. That's going to be an error to Rogue Bison. He shall be shamed. But for the benefit of Debonairs, that's going to be Quincy Longpants. I was going to say he's on first. He already steals second. And he's going to be mildly shamed for that. As the Debonairs will try to make them pay for that error. And that's going to be an easy catch by Wiggly Bispo, keeping Longpants on second base. Here's Harry Tarcake, 0 for 2 today. Watches strike 1 go by. Again, Quincy Longpants on second base, 1 out. He reached first on an error due to a missed catch by Rogue Bison. Couldn't hang on to it, and it is an error recorded against him. then proceeded to steal second, and that's going to be easy for Rogue Bison. He fields that ground ball. Steps on the bag for out number 2. However, it does move Quincy Longpants to third base. Dimples Bugby going to be coming out for Carrick Burns. Interesting to see the substitute, the pinch hitter here in the bottom of the 6th. It did not matter. One swing, one hit, and an out at first. Here's Quigley Bispo. It's like Harry Tarcake will be coming in as playing catcher. Out of position for Harry Tarcake, but nonetheless, Carrick Burns takes his spot in left field. And Bruce Dapper continuing to fire that baseball. With the might of... Oh, it goes through his legs. Thank goodness it didn't hit him. But it's still a single on a full count to Wiggly Bispo, who is going to be subbed out for Energy Midtown. Interesting. Oh, excuse me, Pretend Esposito will be coming in for... Oh, it's going to be a pinch runner situation. My mistake. I was horribly mistaken. Oh, it just off the glove. Well, the out at first is recorded. Rogue Bison up to bat. The action just coming in hot and heavy as I'm trying to make the recordings down on my paper score sheet here as well. That is foul for 0-2. Would be a big strikeout to get if Dapper could get it. 2 outs limits the options for the Ruffians. And that is going to be a valuable second out. The runner on second, that is going to be popped shallow into right field. Joe Nelly under it. And the scoreless game continues. Both teams on 4 hits. New Ohio, bottom of the 7th. It's blithely cartwheeling. And Energy Midtown moving to third base. Loud Juice Hendrick. To left field. And that's the first out. Here is Joe Nelly. Smashes that one. It's going to find its way off the wall. Fixed Ray Mortgage makes the throw, and he just barely beats the throw at second base with a sliding double, excuse me. Here comes Yup Turtles in for Murphy Bed Sleepover. A pinch hit situation. Takes strike 1. And that's going to be caught over the shoulder by Pretend Esposito in shallow left field. Bruce Dapper coming up. He shall stay in this game. 2 outs. Runner on second. Any sort of contact to be made. And I think rather than putting in a pinch hitter, keeping Dapper in this game to keep the Ruffian offense under control. He will strike out. It will leave 1 on base. But at the top of the 8th, we are getting into very, a bit nervy territory here as Loud Juice Kendrick coming in. Blithely cartwheeling will move into center field. Yup Turtles to shortstop. And that is going to be a misstep, and an error shall be reported. Yup Turtles had to record that one. That was Turf Tamba having a horrid time putting the runner on first. Dub straining, showing bunt. Just perhaps they shall play a bit of the smaller version of the game, where they do everything in their power to move that one run on first, which is now on second due to that walk, and here's Charles Tunchu, who will come out of this game for Virgil Sacrifice. Virgil Sacrifice as a pinch hitter. Easy Fancy Dan double play in play, and he does get the Fancy Dan double play ball. 2 outs. The runner has moved to third. That is foul for out strike number 1. And that is just barely foul. 0-2. This is a very important pitch right now for Dapper. Cocan Lloyd watches that completely go by his head and is out again. Here in the bottom of the 8th, and taking the mound for Boston is the relief pitcher, Lou Gehrig's disease. And laying down a bunt to start things off. And he's going to be safe at first. Is Dollop O'Daisy. I did not anticipate that sort of play. Well, they're pulling out all the tricks out of their bag of said tricks. That's going to drop into center field, and 2 are going to be on. Longpants and O'Daisy on first and second. Here's Turf Tamber. And that will be out number 1, moving the runners to second and third. Any sort of contact will bring home Dollop O'Daisy. Perhaps even the sacrifice fly is an option. This is very much an option to tag up. There is the catch from Loud Juice Kendrick. It's a double tag up. Neither of them are out. It is a 1-0 game to the Debonairs. And looks like they are going to walk Herrick Burns. That is a pitch out here, 4 balls.
Take your bait.
Which of course makes the Fancy Dan double play an option. Actually, it just makes the allows the out to be at either base. He'll single it to, he'll ground it to Cocan Lloyd, who will record the third out. However, on the sacrifice fly, the Debonairs have taken the lead. Coming in for Harry Tarcake is the catcher, Hammond Dangle. Ghost Till Down will come in for at center field. And that is the first out. There is out number 2. And Pretend Esposito represents potentially the last out for a huge win here at home for the New Ohio Debonairs. It's an easy play. Turf Tambo, the throw, the out. Dollop O'Daisy gets it. And the Debonairs take a very tense, a very defensive-minded, but a very impressive victory here tonight, here this afternoon, excuse me, at the Tri-City Fairgrounds. What a game, what a win. Taking a win off of the first place team in the Continental League and splitting the series so far with the game to play, I believe, in 2 days. And let's go ahead and take a look. Your line score for this game: 5 hits, 1 error, but no runs for the Boston Ruffians. The New Ohio Debonairs, 1 run off of 7 hits and 0 errors. And the thing is, the run came from the sacrifice fly, not even one of those 7 hits. A funny bit of trivia for you on that one. And of course, we shall get the box scores to the printing press, and they shall be represented in your afternoon paper tomorrow. The winning pitcher, Bruce Dapper. Bruce Dapper goes to 1-1 on the season. The loss goes to Lou Gehrig's disease. Lou Gehrig's disease for Boston. And that will be, that will move, I believe that will put him at, I believe that puts him at 0-1. He's only made a relief appearance as well. So 0-1, the loss recorded to Lou Gehrig's disease. Now it's time for our fanciest Dans of the day. Excuse me, our finest dandies of the day. Brought to you by the Honey Wheat Tobacco Company, proud sponsors of the old-timey baseball promenade, and of course the Honeywheat Cigarette Company. Honeywheat Tobacco Company reminding you that if you want fresh breath, then try their new mildly flavored Honeywheat cigarettes. It still smells like smoke, but with a hint of basil. That's Honeywheat cigarettes. Smoke wheat every day. The third finest dandy of the day goes to Wiggly Bispo of the Boston Ruffians. Went 2 for 3. The second finest dandy, Charleston Chew, the pitcher, 7 innings, 5 hits allowed, no runs allowed, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. However, the finest dandy of the day goes to Bruce Dapper, and I think that is a very obvious award to give Bruce Dapper. The complete game, 5 hits allowed, not a single run allowed, only 1 walk but 5 strikeouts. What a day for Bruce Dapper. Well, that is going to be it here at KYW. Of course, there is more baseball to be played this afternoon. I understand there are 2 more games that are going to be having their first pitch coming up very soon. So you will read about those in your afternoon papers tomorrow. But until then, my name is Tiddly Clowners. This is KYW, and thank you for joining us here at the Tri-City Fairgrounds.